All right, happy Friday, everybody. I apologize for not being in class today. You are going to start out the day by submitting your A number 23 rooster worksheet if you have not done so. You also need to submit IXL number 5, even if it's incomplete. Submit what you have done, and then if you have not finished, then you should finish that this weekend and get it submitted. I actually returned the quizzes to you yesterday, so you'll be taking a test on Wednesday, and today is going to be a review practicing multiplying and dividing rational numbers by doing a big ideas assignment. So you may pause this for a quick moment and make sure you have submitted the assignment and submitted the IXL. And now we'll move on to going over the assignment. We're going to skip those examples. And your assignment from last night, why is Dracula a great artist? He can draw blood, is what the response was. And as you go through and look at your answers, we can pause this for a moment and take a look at each question. But remember, you need to change all improper fractions or mixed numbers to improper fractions first. Then you're going to do keep, change, flip. And once you have done your keep, change, flip, then you look to see whether or not you may simplify. And so as we look, for example, on the first question, we changed to improper first. Then we did our keep, change, flip, and then we looked to simplify. Many of you struggled on that question to simplify the 10 and the 15. You could divide both by 5. And so you're not going to get a 1 in this situation, but 10 divided by 5 is 2, and 15 divided by 5 is 3. And then when you multiply across, you get 14 over 9, which then is simplified down to 1 5/9. However, you could have multiplied across, and many of you had 70 over 45, and then had to simplify at the end. I'll let you pause. You may go back and look at each question and notice there were quite a few that you didn't have to do any changing impropers because they were just fractions. So like number 3 and number 7 and number 9 and 15, or number 11. But the rest of them, any mixed number needed to be changed to improper. So you may pause, check those answers real quick, and then we'll flip over and look at the back. Okay, on the back, as we look at this one, you can see we need to remember to move the decimal point over in our divisor. So we move the decimal over 2 in the first one. We need to move it over 2 in our dividend and then bring it straight up. And then we have to go through our steps. And remember, always double checking your sign. Negative times a negative is a positive. All right, a positive times a negative. Signs are diff. The answer is going to be negative. So as you're going through each one, always double check at the beginning and then double check to make sure that you have your sign correct at the end. As we look at number 2, you're dividing by 25. Once you move the decimal point, that you can kind of do mentally. Number 4 was a little harder. You're actually going to end up dividing by 75, but what you should have noticed is we continue to get 25 here. Now, you can only have a repeating decimal. You can't have a repeating whole number, so I had some of you a little bit confused. So once you got the 10th place, then we actually have our repeating decimal. So you can't stop at the very beginning and just get negative 30 or put a 3 repeating, because you have to get to the point where you actually get to the decimal. So there was last night's homework. Now today is going to be practice of the last 2 days, which many of you kind of struggle with. So in a moment, we're going to go through those instructions. We'll skip that. Now, multiplying rationals. As a reminder, okay, this was our page, I believe, 6 and 7 in our notes packet. And so on the left, it reminds you of how to multiply with decimals. It has your steps, and I have the example drawn below that we did in class. So this is our decimal example. Remember, we don't line up our decimal points when we multiply. All right, you line up the digits, and then you deal with the decimal point at the end by counting decimal points over 2, over 1, so in the answer it moves over 3. Don't forget your 0 place value holder as you do 2-digit. Multiplying fractions, we have to change all impropers, number 1. Change all mixed numbers to impropers. So as you can see, we change those to impropers. Then we try to simplify diagonally. And so as you can see, I simplified the 4 and the 18 by dividing by 2, then multiplied across, then changed that improper fraction to a mixed number, and then double-checked our sign. Signs were the same, so the answer was positive. Division reminders. All right, so once again, on the left, this is division with, if it's a fraction, think cowboy, top divided by bottom. If it's the other way around, it's the first number goes inside the house, divided by the second number is the divisor. Remember, you have to move the decimal point over if there's a decimal in the divisor. As we did here, we moved over 1. We're going to move this one over 1, and then do our division. Bring your decimal point straight up. As we look at the second example, when we're dividing with fractions, once again, first step is change all mixed numbers to improper fractions. After we've changed each mixed number to improper fractions, we're then going to do our keep, change, flip. This is the only difference between multiplication and division. So we do our keep, change, flip. Then we try to simplify diagonally. As you can see in this example, we simplified the 63 and the 7 by dividing by 7, and then we simplified the 8 and the 4 by dividing by 4 and multiplied across. So today you're going to be practicing that. So what I would like for you to do is you're going to get a piece of notebook paper out, and in a moment you are going to complete a big ideas assignment. Reminder, you are going to show work on this one. This one is not mental math. You're going to be doing multiplication and division, which means each question should have work shown. So you're going to head your paper with assignment number 24, put your name on it, and make sure you number each question and make it organized, okay? Once you have unlimited checks, so 70% or better for full credit, you have the remainder of class to work on this and complete it. Remember to submit a screenshot of your score and your work page for full credit. That is your assignment that is due by Monday. And if you did not finish your IXL, then you are to work on your IXL once you finish this assignment. If you're done with everything else, then you may work on other homework, or you may work on IXL diagnostic if you'd like. Have a great weekend.